There we go. Got the mic unmuted now. Sometimes the best thing to do is to just get started. I don't have a clue if anybody will show up, but this is mostly for my own productivity than anything. So if some people do show, that's great. If not, I'll still have it to review later. So what I'm working on today is I tracked 3 more songs with the doom metal band Burnt Witch. That would be me playing drums on this. And what I'm wanting to do is get my drums lined up. So I'll be comping and editing this from start to end. I've got all of my drum tracks grouped to where, what's the word I'm looking for? I've got them grouped using the media. Goodness, I can't talk today. Media items. Let me just pull it up and show you. Media, razor, edit, lead, and follow. So I'm grouped at the track level, and anything that I do to any one of my drum tracks will work across all of the rest of the drums. So one of the first things that I'm going to want to do before I start comping is make sure that I've got, well, I need to turn my grouping back on because I turned that off. There we go. I need to make sure that I've got everything phase aligned properly. So to start with that, I'll take my second take, which looks like that is a full take. And there's a relatively new action in Reaper 7 point something or other regarding phase alignment. So I will just look up phase, and it's item edit phase alignment. Now, in order for this to work, I do have to disable my grouping. So just making sure that I've got the same item selected on all tracks first. And now I will grab my snare top and my snare bottom on this particular, well, that's my kick. I don't want to do that. So I'll grab my snare top and my snare bottom and run this phase alignment tool. And you can see that I'm referencing my snare top and snare bottom. The snare top is being marked as the reference item, and the snare bottom is going to be the one that's going to align. So first I want to calculate, and it looks like I am 2.3 milliseconds off. And it also suggests inverting the phase, which I could have sworn I've already done. So I'll go ahead and run that. That's done. Now I'll need to do the same on my third one. I'm going to assume that they are all going to be the same since nothing changed. Oh, oops. Let me cancel that. I don't want to do that. I need to make 100% sure that I'm looking at snare top and bottom. So we'll grab 3 and 3, run the same action again, and calculate first. And same as expected, 2.3 milliseconds with a phase inversion. So we'll run that. Do the same thing for the fourth item. And this works very well and is a whole lot more affordable than some of the other alignment tools. It's nice to have this built directly into Reaper. Yeah, that's really big. I went to go back to my old method of showing the featured comment, and I guess I didn't realize how big I made it, but it's all right. Got my snare and top and bottom. Same 2.3 milliseconds. I assume that will be the same every single time. We'll grab this little piece here at the beginning. And that was one that I punched in a little bit later, so I want to grab that. All right, so snares are aligned across all 3.5 takes. I need to move my chat window in OBS. Sorry, I've got a little bit of housekeeping to do over here on my other window. Apparently I accidentally moved a few things and it's driving me a little bit batty. Hey LeBron, thanks for joining. Okay, so up next I want to do my overheads. If I can find them. Here's my overhead hat and ride. And I'll do that same process again. So I'll grab these items. The real fun starts in just a bit. Make sure that my hat and ride sides are the right things. And now apparently I did a pretty good job of placing my overheads. It is 0.3 milliseconds off of each other. So we'll get those aligned. Now I'll do the next set of takes. What are you cooking? I'm really happy with how good my overheads are as far as alignment goes. That makes me feel good about my measuring abilities. I need to make sure to get these partial ones here as well. We'll get into the fun stuff shortly. I just need to make sure that this phase alignment is done. It is relatively important. All right, and last but not least, we'll get the room mics. Ground beef, which, wow, that, I need to make an adjustment to my pinned comment. It's staying up there way too long. Sorry if you guys missed anything there. I can't fix it while I'm actually streaming, though. And I guess I could, but what's the fun in that? All right, so we'll get our room mics done. I guess I need to pin a button up here for the phase alignment tool. I thought I had already done that, but I guess I didn't. So I am 3.2 milliseconds off of each other on the room mics. Not bad, once again, considering I eyeballed it. Something's wrong there. Oh, I think that was after somebody showed up a little bit late and probably changed the relationship between those room mics because he sat in a chair that was dangerously close to one of the room mics. Makes me want to go back and spot check that first one again. Maybe I grabbed the wrong tracks. Okay, so that's already maximized. That is correct. We'll grab this last one. Such a handy tool. All right, so now I need to go through the process of making sure that all of these are back on track 1 before I wonder if I group them now, will it just work? Yep, okay, so we're back on track 1 for all of them. And we are ready to start our comp. So I will focus on my snare top. Well, let me get this shrunk down a little bit. Why is that button not working? Snare top and my kick is what I want to focus on. I got to get my life together. We'll collapse this. That'll help too. And let's start with my 4th take. And we'll comp into a new empty lane and start working there. LeBron, you are not late. I'm just getting started, actually. What I was doing initially was making sure that I'm phase aligned on all of my drum tracks, or at least on my snare top and bottom, my overheads, and my rooms. I wanted to make sure those were phase aligned. And now I'm going to start comping. I'd already comped this before, but I wanted to start over and do it again because I didn't phase align previously. So I'm about to get started with that. And which song am I doing? This is Doplich. We'll start off by listening to take 4. And I will switch to other takes as necessary. Then we'll start editing. Let's go. Okay, LeBron is saying he lost audio. Is everybody else... Oh, Michael, I wasn't talking. You can probably hear me now. Let me try now. You guys let me know if everything is coming through okay. Now, James, who is in chat there, he is the bassist for the band. I'm just the drummer. I didn't write any of these, but there are some definitely good songs. Let me turn up my in-ear so I can focus. I accidentally turned it. I was like, where's my tom hits there? I always do toms there. I accidentally turned down that track, so let me get back to the verse. I was thinking I had to switch to another take, but the toms are actually there. Now, I really liked that take, but I would be doing myself a disservice if I didn't check the others. So I'm going to split that, and we'll preview one of the other takes. I like this one better so far, but I missed a kick right there, so I want to bring in another take on the second half. I really like the tom work on the first half of that. So let's go ahead and bring in another take for the second half here and see how that feels. That's not a good place to do that. That feels pretty good. It does. Now that felt pretty good. I want to split that in half, though, and just try another take for the second half. That needs to be cleaned up, but we'll do that later. I'm looking at this other take here, and I did something different there, so I want to see what it was. Yep, let's go with that one. I want to try some of the other takes there. I think I may have done some double kicks on one point. Try right about there. Definitely like that better. Let's go back to the beginning of that section. Looks like I did more snare work on this take here, so let's check that out. If you're just tuning in, what I'm doing at the moment is comping my drums. I did 3.5 full performances on this song earlier today, and I'm just making a composite, whatever you want to call it, pulling the best parts out of each of those takes, and then once I've got that solidified, then I can go through and do a little bit better job of time alignment here. I missed a kick. Slacker. Let me look at my kicks here. I think I can split the difference. Let's see how we do. Nope, not that take. No. That may have to work, and I'll just time align it a bit later. Yeah, actually, that feels pretty good right there. Yeah, real drummers do write their parts, LeBron, but I'm very new to the group, and I did a few variations, and I'll learn it the way that I comp it, so it'll always be the same going forward. I know that. Kind of want to take a look at that part. I think I remember doing a few variations there. Yeah, let's try a little bit of variation there. I do want to go over that measure 95 right there where I had the break and just see what I did on the other sections. I think I actually prefer that with no snare. Just looking at some of the other kick patterns here. Let's see. I think I may actually prefer that the original way. If you guys got any questions about anything I'm doing, feel free to fire away. I like that. I don't think I even want to listen to the others. I do want to check out some of my alternate endings for this section. Nope. Nope. Yeah, I think I'll just stick with the purple on that. It feels good. I see some activity here on this other take that I'm curious to see what I did there. I actually think I like the purple one better. What did I do here? I want to see what I did on this green one. That looks interesting. I'll need to move that one forward a little bit more. Maybe a bit more. Nope. Okay, I guess we're just gonna rock that purple one. for the last part of the song here. All right, so it seems like purple wins for the end of the song there. Just go ahead and remove these unnecessary splits. And just drag that purple out. And I think we've got a good comp, so now we are, whoops. Now we are ready to start editing. So let's get back to the beginning, get our mixer out of the way. We will focus on our snare top and kick. And engage our slip editing macro. So let's do this. I'm going to put the click in my ear because that helps me greatly to make, well, I guess I can just look at the grid. Okay, so we are, let's see here. I think I need to make a cut there and slip already. Yeah, I was trying to think, do I need to have this in triplets or some kind of a swing? That should work though. Yeah, I'm going to need some triplets on my grid, I think. Yeah, this is going to be interesting with that swing in 3/4 time. It's like I can't be sure if I need triplets or not. Maybe I need eighth notes. Yeah, I think just a straight eighth notes grid should do me fine. Maybe. Now I'm second guessing everything. 6/8. You're probably right. Let me try switching it to 6/8 and see if that helps. Yeah, that helped. That actually helped a lot. Putting it in 6/8 time and working with an eighth notes grid. Well, no, but it's still got maybe I need eighth note triplets. I'm gonna figure this out. This will take a second. Eighth note triplets looks good so far. Math. Yeah, that helped. Thank you very much for that, LeBron. So eighth note triplets in 6/8 time has got me. I think I probably could have done it the old-fashioned way, but like just from listening, but it would have been maddening to try to figure it out. Batman, what is up? It has been a while, man. Don't tell anybody you saw me on the internet. People are starting to talk already. I probably need to spot check more of these because I'm fairly certain that this grid is correct. Let's find out. Yep, that feels pretty good. And LeBron, this is the part where you say, "How dare you doubt me?" I know I've got some tom hits in there that I'll need to be sure those are looking good, and of course they're not. That's where I felt like I was more on beat before I started editing. Okay, there we go. We're back on it. I think it's just the old push-pull thing. You know, once you start to edit something, everything downstream is suddenly out of place until you fix it. You know, it's weird. I was a band nerd, and I guess some of this stuff you really just have to sit down and think it through, and I probably should have done that before getting on the stream. But I know having the metronome in 3/4 time in my ear for the sake of recording worked out, but now that I'm looking to get this stuff closer on the grid, that 6/8 was a godsend. Because I was thinking, like, how do I get this in swing time? But I don't need swing time. I just need eighth note triplets, and it's good. Hoping to be able to blow through this pretty quickly. A little concerned about that part. I'm almost up to the verse. I guess I should just finish and then check it after the verse. Or check it once we get to the verse, I should say, and make sure the section is good. Yeah, I should listen to be sure, but I'm so close. It won't be that big of a deal to fix. And try my best to do this stuff like a section at a time so I can listen to it in context. Because I'll get bogged down on one part for so long. The goat. I got that goat beard. You know, it's nice to be editing some of my own drums for a change. It's been a while. So, Batman, since you've, I don't guess you're aware, but I'm drumming for a doom metal band now. Midlife Riot is on hiatus because my drummer works a job that takes pretty much all of his time. So I've moved on to something different just to have a bit of a creative outlet, and I'm finding that I enjoy it quite a bit. Goat. Batman, when you bought that chorus, we didn't have the phase alignment tool in Reaper. I don't know if you're familiar with that or if we've already talked about it, but if not, you'll need to go back to the beginning of this stream and check out how I use the phase alignment tool. I had to ungroup everything temporarily to do it, but it works quite nicely. All right, we got the first section done there. Let's listen to this up through the first verse and make sure it's sounding good. All right, that sounds pretty nicely in time. Oh, Batman, there's also an update to PSP Infinistrip. It does cost money, but if you bought it within the past, I think, year or two, it's like $29. But they've added new modules, and they're quite nice. They've got like a pretty good transient shaper in there. What the heck? Okay. I'm thinking in 4/4, and it's making my brain hurt. I have to remember what time sig this is in when stuff's not lining up the way that I think it should. These ain't off by much. And those of you that don't have Infinistrip, you can get it on sale now for $99, and it is worth every penny. I can literally do an entire mix with nothing but Infinistrip. Now, if you are a MIDI user, this will not apply to you, but if you're working with live audio, Infinistrip is life. And I've really gotten to where I enjoy the 60s style preamp. I don't know. I did something silly the other day, and I was feeding Gemini, the AI product from Google. I was just telling it some information and just wanting to see how it would recommend mixing something, knowing that it couldn't hear it, but just basing it off of my text descriptions. And I told it that I wanted to use Infinistrip exclusively, and I learned a lot by doing that. I mean, I still did some of my own stuff to it, but I learned a lot by following some of the stuff that Gemini thought would be relevant, particularly about changing the order of some of my modules in Infinistrip. It's kind of a cool experiment. Yes, the zero latency, that's what I love using it if for no other reason than that. Like if I want to stream while playing, I can put that on every single channel and everything be synced up just fine. I feel like they are a seriously underrated plugin developer. And I think it's just because so many other companies have more marketing muscle behind them. But they've got it where it counts. Audio Assault has got a similar product called, not Amp Locker, don't remember what they called it, Mix Locker? I didn't really like the plugins quite as much, but it was zero latency as well. It's similar. X.E.L.O. I was just talking about you in my stream, what was it, yesterday, the day before? Because I still know nothing about MIDI. I've got to watch your tutorials, because I've been doing some videos for some rap artists lately, and most of them make their beats and everything. Some of them buy beats from other people, and now I want to make beats. So we need to have like a channel crossover where somebody, I don't care who, teaches Mike how to use MIDI. All right, we are up through the interlude. Let's see if we can find a kick transient that should be there. And see how this works. So we're going to check the verse, then work on the interlude. All right, that sounds good, except for, what did I do? Oh, I see what I did. So this, whoops, that need not happen. This needs to go back, and that needs to come forward. That should fix that problem. I just had my crossfade in the wrong place, I think. Yep, that got us. Now later on, I'm probably going to want to go and pay attention to the ride on this part and make sure that those are lined up nicely, since that's the prominent instrument in this section. That's the interesting part about this stuff is like sometimes you deviate from whether you're just focusing on the kick and snare and instead focusing on something else because it may be more prominent. Could have sworn I heard Bell Dog getting into something. But she's behaving. This is mostly looking pretty good. It looks like I was having foot spasms today or something. Some of my kicks are all over the place. Oh, sorry. I didn't pay attention to the chat over there. What are we saying? This is actually just tools that are built into Reaper. I do have some mouse modifiers here that have changed some of the things so I don't have to use so many keyboard presses. But essentially, when I left click with this macro enabled, it will create a split to the left of wherever I clicked and also automatically add a crossfade. And as long as I'm on the bottom half of the media item, it will slip edit, which you can slip edit in Reaper by just holding Alt and dragging left and right. But again, I've changed my mouse modifiers so I don't have to hold that key press. Other than that, my drums are grouped together to make sure that all of my drums get edited at the same time, so I don't have to go and do them one at a time. What have I done here? I think that's where that gap was. Okay, so tom hits that I just wasn't hearing. I needed to move down a bit. It's weird. This is tedious, but it's also relaxing, and I love the end result of hand-edited drums. Oh, this is slow, actually. I do it a lot faster when 100% focused and not narrating, but I'm also monitoring the chat and just trying my best to narrate a little bit, because if I just sat here and did it without talking, it would probably be a very boring stream. And I would go through most of it without listening. But when I'm doing my streams, I like to do a section of the song at a time and review it and then do the next section. Sometimes I'll go back and review the section going into something just to give people who are just coming into the stream some context. Because if you just come in and just see some random brown guy clicking around on the screen and have no idea what he's doing, it can seem kind of boring. So once we get done with this, we will take a listen from the beginning of the song up through whatever we just finished editing. And before you joined in, I did a comp. I've actually did 3.5 takes on this song today. And I made a comp from those 3.5 takes. And we're currently working in the comp lane using the fixed lanes method in Reaper as opposed to the traditional takes. If you're not familiar with that, this is what it looks like. So you can see my 3.5 takes are 100% pristine, uncut, whereas the old takes method would cut up the source and leave you with a bit of a mess. If you ever wanted to go back to your original state, you really couldn't, at least not easily. And working with it this way, I've still got pristine source tracks, and I can make multiple comps without ever cutting the source. All right, we are up to verse 2. Let me make sure my first transient on that is in line. Move this crossfade where it's appropriate. And let's check back from the front, shall we? right, so we are. Oh, wait. I need to keep going up to verse 2. Sorry. All right, so we are up to verse 2 now. First transient is in line, so moving on down. Apparently people are shooting outside. I'll just put my ears back in. Thought I was hearing something. But this is the South, and people do shoot. Looks like we got some tom work here. Off by a few milliseconds. But nature of the beast, as soon as you cut and slip edit anything, things downstream are going to get pushed offline a bit. And I have got to remember to do my best to keep the section that I'm editing away from the chat window over there. So if I get too far to the right, somebody yell at me. Right now I'm using eighth note triplets in 6/8 time. We had to do a little bit of back and forth to figure out the time signature, and Pirate Studios in chat there gave me a little bit of a tip to help me get it right. When I recorded this, I just had the metronome in 3/4 time and it worked for my purposes. But when editing to a grid, things weren't lining up right because it's got a little bit of a swing to it. So 6/8 with eighth note triplets. What the heck are these people shooting at out there? Good times. As you can tell, I'm not too terribly concerned about it. Take it easy, James. I will catch up with you later, and we'll send you guys these tracks once they're done. I suspect this one will be done tonight. And I'll probably do the others tomorrow instead of working. Let's see, we are almost up to the second movement. I didn't know what to call it, so I just put a marker there that said second movement. Just ready to get to the time sig change. Zombies. Either that or deer. Zombie deer. And my wife is watching the grandkids at the moment, and she just texted saying something to the effect of, that last boom didn't sound like the others. I don't think it's baseball season, so it's not going to be the ballpark nearby. They do fireworks there sometimes. It's not New Year's Eve. Zombie deer. Rob Zombie. What is up, Jackson Bates? Welcome to our humble session. If you are just joining us, which it looks like you are, I am editing some drums that I performed earlier today. We've already got them comped, and I'm just working to get them lined up a little bit better. Aliens. They will never top the second movie. All right, it looks like we got this section done, so let's go back and review. We'll get a little bit of that interlude going into the verse up to the second movement. Okay, that's sounding pretty good to me. I can see we're going to have a glitch right there, so I'll go ahead and move that crossfade and start fixing. Those of you who watch these streams semi-regularly, you can tune this part out because I say it a lot. But if you're new to this, I tend to edit by hand instead of using any automated methods because the automated methods always make mistakes that you just have to clean up anyway. Now, in some cases, it can get you most of the way there, but I don't want my performance to sound robotic, so I want to improve timing where it's necessary for the feel of the song, but still preserve as much of me as possible. And I feel like doing this manually does a good job of that. It's not that bad. The average song I can go through, depending on my focus level, and say 30 minutes to an hour. It just really depends on focus, and admittedly, I struggle with focus. So to me, doing this is relaxing. I mean, it's rewarding to hear the final outcome. But I mean, this is what you do. And the other part of this too is drummers are peculiar creatures. I mean, I'm a guitarist and a drummer, and I like for my kit to be heard. I selected those pieces because I like the sound of them. I tune the kit the way that I do because I like the sound of it. And I mean, I don't necessarily want to be replaced with samples that don't sound like me. I get that using samples is somewhat industry standard, and I wonder how the industry is going to change now that singers and pretty much everybody is being threatened with AI replacement. You know, everybody wants to replace everybody else's instruments. Well, heck, singers though, even some of the more popular singers now. I'm going to get on my soapbox here for a second, but in the old days, if you couldn't sing, you just didn't get recorded. And now anybody that just looks good gets recorded, gets a record deal, and I don't know. I would rather hear the actual artist instead of the engineer, if that makes sense. And I tell people the same thing when I'm doing video work for clients. You know, if you're looking for somebody that does a whole lot of like fast cuts and transitions between every shot, that's not me. You should probably find somebody else, because I feel that my job is to get good quality shot composition, good lighting, make everything look as good as possible in camera. And I don't want the viewer to see my editing. I want the viewer to see the client. I mean, yes, I want people to be impressed with my work, but also I don't want to jeopardize the client's product by making sure that I edit myself into everything, if that makes sense. It's like I've had people ask, why don't I tag my videos with my company name? It's because you paid for a work to represent you, not for me to use what you paid for to advertise myself. And if you're proud of my work, you'll let people know anyway. Speaking of, we just finished, I would say probably the biggest project I've worked on. We've been in business since March of this year, and we just completed some work for Ford, as in Ford Motor Company, which is a really awesome opportunity. All right, we got that section done. Let's check this movement. And to me, that sounds, I mean, yes, obviously I've edited this, but it sounds very much human. Got a long stretch before I come in again, but let's find where that point is. And I just accidentally cut. Side note, the missus has confirmed that it's fireworks outside. Oh, did I not put a... Interesting. The time sig marker isn't quite right, so I'm going to have to... See, that's bugging me now. That's all in time. That's one right there. Oh, I see what happened. This marker should be here. Yeah, that fixed it. I was just off where I put the time signature marker. Now we're lined up. All right, so we'll make a cut here and start editing right about there. This part's going to be interesting because my playing sucked here. Oh, wait. I know what's up. Crap. I'm going to undo all those cuts. I need to switch back to a straight grid. I was still on triplet grids. Now it should be good. Hello. Yodeling doom metal. That Sounds like something Yoko Ono would come up with. That look Chuck Berry gave John Lennon when she started, I won't say singing. Something weird's happening there. Okay, so see what I did there. We'll just shift that over a little bit. Those are just 16th notes. That's why I'm not seeing them on the grid. That feels pretty nice to not have to edit that whole block. But I got a kick that's a little out of place there. Seems like a lot of the big shot producers have like an intern that does all this editing for them. But I enjoy doing it. All right, it looks like we are just about done with this section. I need to make sure that my build is spot on. It's dangerously close. All right, let's test that section. All right, so we'll finish up these next few sections, and I'm going to call it an evening because my wife is home. Being this close to the end, I do want to finish it though. What are you using for backups there, Batman? I've got Backblaze that just runs full time, which having gigabit internet makes it easy to just leave it running so that every time I do make any kind of change to any file, it's just automatically backed up offsite. Maybe that's not what you meant. I'll likely do another one of these tomorrow. I've got 2 more songs to edit. No clue what time it'll be. Just kind of do them at random just whenever I got the time, because this is not my actual job. Looks like I need some 16th note grids there. iCloud costs too much money. The convenience is nice, but for like $99 a year, you can have unlimited space with Backblaze. Worth looking into, at least for your computer. And if you ever need to do a full recovery, I mean, you can always download stuff from the cloud, but if you ever have like a ton of data and you need to do a full recovery, they can ship you an external hard drive with everything on it. There's a part after this guitar solo where that there was a gradual slowdown. That should be interesting. And it's sounding pretty good. Let's work through the guitar solo. I tend to not do quite as much during guitar solos because, well, the guitar is the focus there. Look, let's take a brief break. So this is not a commercial, but boop. Look at that. $99 a year for unlimited data backup and access from anywhere. You should go here. And if you buy 2 years, it's $189 for 2 years. Worth every penny. Whereas, I mean, I don't have any Apple products, but I'm pretty sure that iCloud, I mean, you've got the convenience of having access to everything from all of your iDevices, but I think you have to pay for that per gigabyte. Okay, that was a triplet fill, so I'll leave most of that alone. Maybe make a cut right about there and make sure that snare is online. Sounds like I kind of flubbed that fill, but I'll allow it. Yeah, that's not bad for 120 bucks a year. I guess I just like unlimited. Now in my case, since I mean this is the same machine that I use for my video editing, so I've got a lot of storage on here. And for making sure that my client files are backed up and everything is safe, it's just a lot nicer for me to know that no matter how much I may increase the storage on my machine here, that I don't have to pay any more for backup. I do like fixed costs. Now, once that slowdown starts, I'm expecting to see a little bit of deviation on my end because I was kind of struggling to hear the click at that point. Yeah, that you are correct. There's, of course, the saying that we have in IT that one backup is no backup. You need a backup for the backup, multiple redundancies, especially with so many like major corporations getting breached. I'm very curious to find out where these dang fireworks are coming from. And I have no clue what people are celebrating today that requires fireworks. We are getting close to the end. I see the outro right there. These are all looking pretty good. I spoke too soon. That kicks off a little bit. And this is where we've got our gradual slowdown. So I'm expecting to need to move a handful of these. Actually looking pretty good. And now my eye is burning and twitching. Doing my Forrest Whitaker impression. One of us needs to take his allergy medicine. But I'm going to finish this first. Let's see, how long have we been streaming? Hour and 15 minutes with a lot of talking, so I think if I take out the narration and the playbacks, this probably would have been done in 30 to 45 minutes. And I think I spent the first maybe 10 minutes doing the phase alignment on each of the takes. So really the actual edit hasn't been that much. My goodness, my eye is watering. I'm not crying, you're crying. Oh, what's happening here? Okay, that just needs to move forward a bit. My goodness. I feel like I can't see anymore. My eyes are watering so bad. It's just so beautiful. Oh my goodness. Well, I may have to call this. Gosh, I've just got a few measures left too. Yeah, on this part, the grid is changing like every few measures. So I did well to be as close as I am on this section. Ugh, sniffles. I'm allergic to December. It looks like we have reached the end. All right, switch my macro back to where it belongs. And let's check this out from front to back, and then I'm going to call it quits and go get my allergy medicine. Yeah, let's go back to the actual intro. That worked out pretty good. I think we're done here. I do hear a few parts in the part with the time sig changes, like every few beats, that may need a little bit more wiggling, but I will deal with that later. Thank you guys and girls for tuning in today. Hope you had fun. If you like what you're seeing, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And you can support the channel further by clicking the Buy Me a Coffee link or Patreon link below. I think Patreon's still down there. I don't know. You guys don't have to give me anything. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.